everybody. Good afternoon to you. How are you? So, this video is going to be a bit unusual due to the subject matter. For those who are watching, I'm going to let you know right now that in this video, I'm going to be talking about different kinds of adult fetishes, namely feederism and being an adult baby. And why am I discussing those things today? Because, in my opinion, these are two things that Foodie does when she does her live streams and when she does her videos. I would like to pass along information to those of you that are not familiar with feederism or the fetish of being an adult baby, so that if you're somebody and you're watching Foodie Beauty, perhaps you can better understand what you might be looking at. Now, all of the thoughts in this video are just thoughts. I don't have any receipts, no concrete proof. All I have is the knowledge that I have of learning about different fetishes and how I recognize some of what Foodie's doing as fetish content and things that someone might do when satisfying someone who has a particular fetish. So, those of us that have been watching Foodie for a while, we know that she is definitely someone that she caters to the feeders. 1,000,000%. She's catering to the feeders, as many as possible. I've said for a very, very long time that I feel, in my opinion, Foodie started out her channel long ago, back in 2018, just doing regular content. And she did a variety of different content, just looking for whatever it was that would connect with the audience and make her the most money. She did so many things back in the day. She did video game playthroughs. She did makeup hauls. She did makeup looks. She took people out to do in real life vlogs. But she really did not receive much success until she hopped on board the mukbang train. And that's when things really took off for her. Well, by doing the mukbangs, she attracted the feeders to her channel, a great many of them. And we've seen much evidence over the years that they've reached out to her. She stayed in contact with at least a few of them and doing things that specifically make them happy. Anyone who's been around since her BB Villa days, you probably remember the paneer person that she was eating paneer for over a month straight. And what about the Lakma fairy? Or the gentleman that bought her a wooden spoon and a wooden fork because his particular fetish, he did not like the sound of a metal fork or a metal spoon hitting the plate. So he got Foodie some wooden fork and a wooden spoon so she could eat with it instead. Also, she gave out her address so that her feeders could buy her things, send her things, buy her clothes. Whenever she shopped on Torrid, most of the outfits that she bought were undersized on purpose. I feel that was for custom content for the gainers because they love to see the people that are getting bigger. They are getting bigger and they can't fit into their clothes. So she would deliberately buy clothes that were too small to make them happy. And when she did her hauls, there would only be like one thing or two things that actually fit and the other things would not fit. So she was buying things specifically for the feeders. And over the years, in my opinion, Foodie turned her YouTube channel into a cater to as many fetishes as possible channel because people with fetishes, they sometimes pay extra and pay very well. And that's what she was looking for. She did not want to go on, say, OnlyFans or Patreon and do things privately, because then that would mean she would have to not only make the content, but spend a lot of time advertising it on different forms. If you go on OnlyFans, you will not automatically find somebody. You just hit a blank page. So YouTube is a large platform. It is for free. She didn't have as much competition with what she was doing. So she took advantage of all of that. And anybody watching Foodie, if you're not familiar with the feeder fetish, you're not going to know what you're looking at unless you know. But now everybody knows, and it's time to take it a step further. So for anyone watching this video or listening to this video, again, word of warning, we're going to talk about some adult fetishes here. We're certainly going to talk about the feeder fetish and also being an adult baby, which I feel Chantal is doing right now while she's in Kuwait. So let's get into the adult baby fetish. What is that and how does that work? Well, that could mean any number of things, and there are different levels to it, depending on the person and what they're looking for. How does it apply to Foodie? What are the signs that she might be catering to a feeder or feeders that are into the adult baby fetish? Well, let's start with the baby talk, the constant baby talk. This was something that she did not do with Natter or BB or even Pete's. But all of a sudden with Salah, it's shown up and it's shown up heavy. The baby talk, the baby voice, talking like a toddler, saying things like to Julia, "Can I touch your bell bell? I really want to touch your bell bell. You let dad touch your bell bell." I mean, she's 40 years old. There's no reason for her to talk like this. This is not something that she's always done. It's just something that happened when she moved to Kuwait. Then, of course, there's the annoying whining and crying and waving her arms in the air like a baby. I mean, there's just so many things. Her acting like a baby. And part of that could be manipulative. Salah is younger than Foodie. He's in his 30s. She's 40 years old. Could the baby talk be a manipulative way to keep him from being mad at her by appearing or sounding younger than he is? Well, that could be a possibility as well. But I think the more as things go on, the more it seems like she's catering not just to feeders, but to other people with different fetishes. So let me just pull up some information for you guys so you can see for yourself, and I'll let you be the judge. All right. So here's a little picture from Microsoft. Feedies and feeders. So what is feederism? Feederism may have elements of sadism or masochism. Combines sex with delicious food, gluttony and lust, hedonism, sex and food together, indulgence, excess, food equals aphrodisiacs. There's another layer here. There's definitely another layer. I feel like Chantal's got multiple layers. But let's bring in the obvious layer. She's a food addict. She is an extreme food addict. And the only thing that would work for her to get over her issue with food is strict, locked down inpatient, which she will never get. She's too defiant. But you've got 3 different layers to this cake. The strongest layer is the food addiction. Then on top of that, you have the feederism, which plays into the food addiction that keeps it going. And then you have the final layer, which is adult baby, which is intimacy, protection, caring, dependent, need to be cared for, need to care for. And Chantal has said many times, many times, that she wants to be cared for. She likes the idea of laying around and having somebody wait on her. She has gotten to a place of almost mental or emotional regression where she doesn't want to be an adult anymore. She wants someone to take care of all the responsibilities and let her be almost carefree and childlike. And this has been damaging to all levels of herself. But this is the life that she's chosen. So I feel that she is acting out being an adult baby. with her speech, with her actions, with the insistence on being taken care of. She wants nothing to do with adulthood or responsibilities. She wants someone else to take over and be the caring, almost father figure so she can just lay back and do what she wants. So as time has gone on, this has gotten progressively worse. She wasn't as deeply into it when she entered Kuwait over 2 years ago, and things have just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And I feel that Chantal, either by herself or with the help of feeders, she has convinced herself, and perhaps they've convinced her too, that being an adult baby or completely bedbound is the ultimate life. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to go anywhere. You just find someone who can be the caretaker to bring you food and take care of things. And that is the ultimate happy life. And Chantal, because she wants nothing to do with adulthood, she's going to buy into that because it fits right with her narrative of wanting to be lazy and do nothing. She's imagining that being bedbound is the ultimate happy fantasy life. But if something happens and Salah disappears, who's going to be there to take care of you, Foodie? Have you thought about that? Some have said that they feel that Salah is a feeder. Here are my thoughts about that. I don't think Salah is a true feeder. I don't think he gets any kind of joy or arousal from her eating. He seems rather disgusted by it. If he were a true feeder, he'd be bringing her food happily whenever she wants, and he'd be sticking around to watch her eat. But clearly, Salah is disgusted by her. He is not into the bigger ladies at all. He is absolutely shocked and disgusted by the amount of food that she eats. Whenever she tries to eat too much, he tries to stop her. These are not things that a true feeder would do. This is the actions of someone who is dealing with a serious food addict that they have a choice. Either don't give in, and the person is going to throw a temper tantrum and be an absolute nightmare, or give them what they want and pacify them, and they get to live in peace. So Salah, I feel, is not a feeder. He is just someone that he entered into some sort of contract with Foodie, and since she makes the money and she gives him the money, he basically has to do whatever she wants, whenever she wants, in order to keep her from throwing a temper tantrum, much like a toddler. So there's adult baby. And again, there are different levels to it, different takes on it, depending on the person, whatever they want to do. It's up to them how they want to perceive that. In Foodie's case, I feel that for some parts, she wants to be an adult baby and be taken care of. She wants to just let go of adulthood altogether, except for the part of maintaining control of the money so that nobody else can tell her no. And she might be catering to those with the AB fetish on YouTube and those that watch her videos or her live streams. And you guys see her doing the baby talk, acting like toddler-ish. You look at her and you wonder, what in the heck is going on here? Why is she acting this way? Well, that might just be the answer. But let's go further with it. Let's go further. And just so we're clear here, let me just get rid of that image really quick. All right. And I just want to point something out real quick. And this is courtesy of Miss SANSA Cooks. I'm not going to play her video. I just wanted the screenshot here because Foodie deleted this one. Yes, she did. 5 hours of nagging for ice cream and donuts, and she deleted it. But this picture right here, I watched this stream, at least part of it. Throughout the stream, Chantal was whining, insistently whining, and crying and acting like a child. But notice what she's doing right now. She's laying on the couch like a toddler. Notice the way she's dressed. Maybe I'm reaching here. Maybe I am reaching, and it's okay if I am. But notice how she's dressed. It's almost like she has a onesie on, doesn't it? Yes. So maybe this whole stream was for someone in particular in her audience that is into the feederism, but it's feederism that is mixed with someone who has the adult baby fetish and wants her to act this way and wants her to lay down and throw a temper tantrum for ice cream, much like a spoiled brat would. So, full credit to Miss Sansa Cooks for posting the clip. I just wanted the picture. I will leave a link for Sansa's video down below in the description. And we're going to move on to something else I'd like to show you. Just to make you guys aware. All right. So I just did a search under adult baby feederism. The feedee community is huge. As you guys can see, like there's forums for people that are feeders. Actual forums. There's Reddit posts that you could go to. There's all kinds of forums. And if Foodie wanted to, she could go to all these forums and post about herself and attract more of a feeder clientele. I don't think she's all about that life of just being happy with a regular YouTube audience. I think that she has gone online perhaps and looking around these different forums, looking for the men who will pay her to act a certain way and carry on with the feeder fetish on YouTube. And YouTube anymore is just a portal where she can get in front of potential feeders and say, "Hi, I'm Chantal. This is what I do. Here's just a sample. If you want to see the good stuff, contact me on Instagram, pay me by PayPal, or contact me on Cameo." YouTube anymore is just a portal. And that's why she honestly does not care about her channel anymore, because the money she's making on the side using YouTube as a portal, the side hustle is much more profitable and much more enjoyable for her than the main hustle. She's not putting any effort into her channel. She's not putting any effort into her content. She doesn't care about her audience. She's not looking for 100% of her audience. She's looking for the men in her audience that have the feeder fetish that will contact her and give her that side money to not only pay her bills, but more importantly, keep her feeder fetish going. Her issue with food is so large, y'all, that she literally has to crowdfund and crowdsource using YouTube, using the feeders to keep it at the level that it's at. If she lost her job, quote unquote job, on YouTube and had to work a regular job, she would not be able to eat all that she needs to eat, because Foodie spends about $3,000, $4,000 a month just on food. And no regular job is going to pay that much, especially for someone that really cannot work properly. But yeah, as you can see, there's all kinds of forums, places to go. If you have the feeder fetish, you can talk to people like-minded, maybe support it. You can post pictures. So there is that. There's that. It's a large community, and I'm pretty sure Chantal is plugged in to a lot of it, or the most popular ones. But let's finish this out with explaining the paraphilic infantilism, just to give you the guys the definition so that we're clear here, that this is a real thing. Okay, so this is from Wikipedia. Paraphilic infantilism, also known as adult baby, or AB for short, is a form of age play that involves role-playing a regression to an infant-like state. Now, for those of you in the audience, I'm sure that it might seem distasteful. It might be disturbing. Again, different people have different fetishes and they handle it in different ways. I feel, again, that Chantal is mixing the AB thing with the feeder thing, maybe because of one particular feeder or even a few particular feeders. She is satisfying their main folder and subfolder fetishes all at the same time. Like other forms of adult play, depending on the context and desires of the people involved, paraphilic infantilism may be expressed as a sexual fetish, kink, or simply as a comforting platonic activity. People who practice adult baby play are often referred to by themselves and others as adult babies or AB. Once again, let me reiterate that Chantal has not always been this way. When she was with BB, she acted like an adult woman. When she was with Pete's, for the most part, she acted like an adult woman. And when she was with Natter, she acted like an adult woman. This excessive baby talk, acting like a baby, acting like a toddler, whining like a toddler, did not really kick it up to full swing until she met Salah and moved to Kuwait. So where did this new personality come from? What happened? Was it to manipulate him because she's older and she wants to appear younger so he doesn't get mad at her? Is it a manipulation tactic? Is it satisfying somebody's fetish out there? It could be all of the above or none of the above. Behaviors vary, but may include things such as wearing childish clothes, wearing or using diapers, cuddling with stuffed animals, drinking from a bottle, or sucking on a pacifier. Interesting thing about the drinking from a bottle thing. Again, I may be reaching. It's just something I've noticed. So anybody notice that when Chantal sits and she does her videos or her live streams, yes or no? When she sits in the gaming chair and she has that high table in front of the camera, does it or does it not look like she's in a high chair? It kind of looks like that. And the way she holds her bottles and stuff, it looks like the way a child would. Let's see. I'm looking here. Hold on. Just 1 second. Looking for stuff that pertains to her. Let's see. Characteristics and practices. Paraphilic infantilists are people who derive sexual pleasure and or emotional comfort from imagining themselves as and pretending to be children. It is a specific form of age play and more broadly sexual role play that can be practiced alone or with consenting adult partners. And for those that are wondering, like, what is Salah's role in this? Well, he's the caretaker. So if she's doing this kind of age play on YouTube, that is his role. That she's the baby and he's the caretaker and he has to take care of her. And that may be something that the fetish person who's paying wants to see. It could also be something that she herself wants. It could be kind of combined together. But that is Salah's role. That is to say, he doesn't have to be completely happy with it. He just has to play his role. She is the person doing this, and she wants to be bedbound. So she has lack of movement, like a child would when they're in the cradle, and he's got to take care of her. And see, as a paraphilia or fetish or kink, a paraphilic infantilism may represent an atypical sexual interest, but is not usually associated with any psychological disorder or poor mental health. An adult baby play can be considered an unconscious and valid act of sexual expression. In addition, some people participate in adult baby play purely for the positive feeling and emotional comfort associated with childhood and being cared for. To what degree, if at all, eroticism plays a role depending heavily on the participants and context. So Chantal has talked all the time about she wants to be cared for. She wants to be cared for. Like she wants to be comforted. You know, like she wants someone to take care of her. I think she wants someone to take care of her on the extreme side. She also might be using being bedbound and the feederism as a form of manipulative control, because if she puts herself in a position where she cannot do anything for herself, then whoever the caretaker is, they absolutely cannot leave her. They can't escape. So there might be some devious emotional control there by putting herself in a place where she can't move. She might be thinking, well, if I can't move, then that means they're going to stay with me forever. But she wants to be taken care of almost in a childlike way. She wants someone to bring her food. Maybe in her mind, she can regress back to the younger days when she didn't have to worry about anything and she can escape her problems. I don't know. Only a psychiatrist would know. But yeah, I do feel like she's participating in this play. Another large part of adult baby expression can be behaving like a child or engaging in childish activities. This may include crawling or sitting on the floor and playing with toys or games. So what are Chantal's childish activities? Crying, whining like a child, throwing a temper tantrum, childish, all childish. Let's see. I mean, again, there's different levels to this type of age play. Some take it further than others. Let's see. Relationship dynamics. While engaging in paraphilic infantilism with partners, various dynamics are possible, and participants may take up a variety of different roles, including one or more participants acting as littles, adult age players, while others may function as caregivers or CGs or switches. This relatively common dynamic is generally referred to as caregiver little or CGL. So Salah's role is the caregiver. Bring her food, make sure she wants for nothing. He's the caregiver. It's not one that he wants to do, but he signed on for this. He just didn't realize how far it was going to go. So that's Salah's role, not so much being a positive feeder, but just put in a position where he really has no choice now. Okay. So I just want to give you guys some information on that, because like Chantal's it's getting strange over there. Like the adult baby talk, the mannerisms. Again, this is not who she was back in 2018, 2019, 2020. I feel she's always used her channel to make the most money possible, and she's not happy with what she's making on YouTube. So she looks around at different communities to find different kinks or interest to see what she can do on her channel and get away with that YouTube won't spank her on the bottom for. And she might have dipped her toes into the adult baby category and might be playing that out. So those are my thoughts. You guys tell me what you think in the comments. I just want to put it all here and just maybe give some possible insight. And I've got things to do today. And I wish you all very well. And I hope that just by me talking about this, that I didn't disturb too many of you. But with Chantal's strange behavior, you just got to look at the deeper layers to try to understand these things that sometimes don't make sense. So thank you all for watching and listening. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye now.